And this is where things like this become really serious. I just want to acknowledge quickly some more people that have joined the forum. Mr. Ali Mans, my man BBK, Mary Kappa, Mr. Ali Mans, Julia Rogers, Rosalind Bangura, Donald Legrand, Elino Williams, Jared, David Lance, good that you're watching. Aisha Mara, Dennis Turner, Abraham Joshua Sahid, Ajay Kwabina Sapongma, Ghanaian friend and brother, Reg Koroma, Kadiatu Jalo KJ, welcome to the program. This is not a national discussion, nothing else but a national discussion. And I say because the SLPP is the one in power. So therefore, we cannot go to the APC and ask APC questions in behalf of the SLPP. So I hope this is not taken in a different context other than just procedure. That because you in a power, so therefore ask the question. But again, go back to the point, this cannot be right. The dismissal of the anti-corruption commissioner, was it legitimately done? Was it legally done within the within the contract? Ladies and gentlemen, let us go do the research ourselves. It's about time we begin to rise over this sort of pettiness. As I said earlier, that's why we never strengthen our institutions, because even though we come to power with good intent, but because we do them half-heartedly, it therefore become with malaise, with sickness, with problem going forward. And no sooner when we leave power and other people then become the occupants of this power, they tend to resort to the same thing. It becomes revenge 2.0 or 3.0, depending on the nature of the time. Why would you ask former government officials, diplomats? Now some of these diplomats are left languishing abroad, ladies and gentlemen, and this is important. They are left languishing abroad, not knowing what to do. Because the normal procedure would be to surrender your passport in a constitutional, civilized, legal sense to the authority that provided it to you in the first place through procedure, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Now these people are abroad. Who do I surrender my passport to? Why should I surrender to the criminal investigation department? Am I being investigated? Why am I being investigated, or will I be investigated? Such is the situation that has been created, that there has been a lack of trust and confidence. Hence why we ask the question, will this president survive a second term? Will he have a second term? Because if things are not going in the direction that it's supposed to go, then obviously there are questions. Remember, it's the same population that punished the All People's Congress because they took them for granted. They took them for granted. Plenty of complacency, plenty of arrogance. But I'm sure enough they will have learned that lesson, or they are still learning the lesson because it's still early. Mr. President, the SLPP, why would you want to go in that direction? Why would you want to antagonize your people? Look at Freetown, for example, the capital. Okay? Freetown is the barometer of the nature of our politics, the opinion of our politics. And the SLPP, of course, is no secret. The election result shows that, as it has been before, that the SLPP is not well voted for within the capital. And again, if we will look at the general election results, you will see that a significant number of people, percentile-wise, over 40%, never voted for you. Why then would you come with a kind of politics that sort of dividing the nation instead of providing some sort of support, some sort of cohesiveness, some sort of encouragement, so that we are all in this together? Why not? Again, why we ask the question whether could His Excellency be a one-term president. It's largely based on the new direction, which is your manifesto, which by all statement of intent is very good as we look at the forward or preface, or the content if you will like. But so compact it is that it's not achievable within a 5-year period that is this parliament. So you will then focus on flagship programs such as education. But then the education thing itself is now in itself questionable as to how you will go about it, because that's what we're looking at, Mr. President. That's what we're really actually looking at. Okay? Is it achievable? 20% of the national budget appropriated for this cause. Last week I spoke of the subsidy that has been removed. Where has that gone to? Is it being diverted to the education program? It's hard to speak about this because if you don't have people who are following on the level, then of course it becomes a problem. Like you're anti-education. Why would I be? Well, one of my tips, you know, ladies and gentlemen, I get so many calls in the background, so many messages in the background. Some of them are good, but some of them, the nature of it is just far-fetched. That you want to discuss something, which is our right. Which is our right to discuss. Nobody should take it personal. I have all right to ask the President of the Republic respectfully things that I feel are not going the right way, just like I'm speaking here. I should be equally able to go home, and I'm not saying anything is going to happen, and feel free. I wish the government well, but if they're going in the wrong direction, what is wrong with pulling them back and bringing them back to the right direction? Ladies and gentlemen, the economy of the country is in serious trouble. It is in serious trouble. Okay? Some of the reasons why it is in serious trouble, I mean, we can go into them, and most of we are already familiar why it is in serious trouble. Some will want to appropriate some of that blame, and rightfully so, to the All People's Congress. I say rightfully so. But then you continue to promote a climate of threat and instability, where they give investors no confidence at all. Because if you wake up one morning and find somebody being brutalized in Shaka Stevens Street, some shop being vandalized on Kissy Street, and social media now, as they happen, they don't go. I remember a friend and a brother make a fine voice message where they say we should talk about the positives of the country for entertain and encourage foreign investors, which eventually will become the benefactors, which is good. The nature of it is good. But the leadership has to lead by example, by making sure that they arrest these situations because they get a direct impact on the development of our country. If you get people, you have been beaten, maybe you're not even responsible for this. It's not just some kind of violence, maybe gun violence, another domestic violence. But don't you see, Mr. President, Papa government, that this reflects on you, it reflects on the country, and therefore go a negative outlook? Don't you see that? The loans, I talked about them last week, okay, and the conditionalities as provided by the IMF. The loans continue for lose ground against the US dollar, the greenback. We are not a producer of anything at this stage, because whatever we produce, we don't even manage well. Either we are held captive, because even with resources where we can always make noise about, be it rutile, be it diamond, be it gold, be it coffee, cacao, piassava, many of which we are endowed with, but we don't get to see the benefit of this. We don't, because we continue to wallow in debt. And as we speak, I believe the inflation rate is double digits. So could not we focus on these things? Or could not we do something like a dual approach to these things, so that even though the difficult choices would have to be made for rest back the situation, so that eventually we people can benefit? Don't we see that it would have been necessary for us to prime our people, prepare them, instead of things that they were not responsible for? the economy in shape that they were not responsible for, they continue to be penalized for this. How fair could this be? But the people has got a way of speaking back, hence why we ask the question, could this president be a one-term president? Ladies and gentlemen, this is serious. That is beginning to look like, from some incidents that I've seen myself, heard myself, a police state depriving a people of expression. Is it some fear? The last time was about cleaning. That became equally divisive. But don't we understand that people have got their rights? You cannot force people. That in itself is an abuse. But just because we don't have the right mechanisms in our country for our people to take action, it becomes negligible. But this in itself is wrong. So the use they suffer against the US dollar when at the global currency. So despite this appalling existing situation where the government continue for due, anything when they bring up kind of parliament, fellow, if we follow and we get this report, we know say it not emanate from there or it's not being taken seriously. And again, because the APC is the dominant party in our parliament. So whatever they come up with, whether not cross partisanship with other parties, NGC, C4C, it ends up nowhere because of absolute power as we kind of political system define. Ladies and gentlemen, we get 8 more minutes or 10 more minutes into this program, and I've learned. I've got an interview today, so I ask you all, please, people, if you can tell your family and friends back in Freetown, it will be on Radio Via City, on frequency modulation, or FM for short, 100.06. Okay, I will be there live tonight, and I will be speaking as usual, but just on issues pertaining to the country. Okay, that's what I want to talk about. That's why I opened this program with being the carrier of social news in the good for the people. I want to be the yin and the yang, the dualities of life. Ladies and gentlemen, this is serious. When I say serious, I mean it's serious. And all of these questions are now being asked and will require answers. We are requiring answers, ladies and gentlemen. It's not right that cross-party in parliament should be waved aside. That's not democracy. That's not democratic at all. There should be inclusivity. And of course, I'm in a little position, and all I can do is appeal. So while we come towards the end of this program, and just a quick reminder again, the materials are many. So probably we will now switch from a 1 day a week program, we will gear up to 2 days in the first place. But because the material are so much and we don't want too much backlog, maybe it will come a time where we might likely have 3 times a day. But the next one, anyway, step by step, take it as it comes. It will be like 2 days a week. We are also pretty much or pretty soon going to be going into a radio show. Pretty soon, we'll be launching the channel TNN. TNN is just for short, then and now. But make it a little bit, fancy. TNN channel or TNN news, whatever. We are coming up with that soon. It's in the pipeline. And with your support, hopefully this should be a reality. We are also coming up with a program very soon which will mirror question time. We've sought and approved, we've got the approval, we've got a location, a public location in London where we'll be hosting this program. So if you know what question time is, most of us know what question time is, that's how we're going to mirror the program so we can talk about issues, political issues, economic issues, social issues, daily bread and butter politics, everyday business. That's what we're going to be talking about. But I need your support. I must say, I need your support. You support me, I support the community. Support in the sense I'm not asking for funds. I'm just talking about your presence alone, about spreading the word. Let's do it in a pyramid form that everybody gets to hear the news. That in itself would be a very good thing. Ladies and gentlemen, the time is still early, so I've got a volume this stage, but it's still early, so I'm not going to be going deeply into this as at yet. That's why I've said that there is a likelihood that we might, double the number of shows that we are doing presently, which is from 1 to 2, and see what happens. Okay, we'll see what happens. There are so many accusations. There are so many things that are going on. There are things like executive actions, bypassing the Parliament of the Republic. Okay? Earlier on, I said what took place in Parliament from the beginning of Parliament, but of course, it appears as if we forgot it, but it's documented, in which 68 members of the All People's Congress were expelled from Parliament. And not only expelled, and this is critical and significant, because during their absence, something historically happened. The Speaker of the House was elected. And it's interesting, we could be hypothetical about this, conspiratorial, or theoretical. But during their absence, the Speaker of the House was elected. Had they been there, would he have been elected? Again, was it a proper process? There are many things to be asked. So while there is a sense of semblance of state security from the present government of the Republic towards the people of Sierra Leone, but there are many other areas which are very much questionable, very, very much questionable. Okay, GTT report, we now know who are those that bought public office, public lands, public buildings, and etc. But not all of those names that made it into the report. We'll discuss that report in time to come in its probably entirety. Okay, that's why I say there is so much here for us to look into. So instead of executive orders, whilst we've got a parliament, why not use the parliament mainly? We also got reports that the office of the mayor of Freetown, very honorable office, a very big position within the principality or the municipality of Freetown, has been accorded nothing but rudeness as we understand it. Mr. President, try and take hold, sir. Try and take hold. Some people in your government, as I said the last time, could be running amok, probably trying to impress you, but they're doing the wrong thing. Because in 5 years' time, or less than 5 years' time, the people once more of that country will be going to the ballot. You saw how APC was complacent, arrogant, and etc., and we see the consequent result. The people are not forgiven. Governments come and go, but the people remain. And in this light, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. I know you would not like for it to end, but like I said, I've got a program tonight, and I'm really looking forward to that program. It's going to be an interview. It's going to be on Radio Via City. Please tell your family and friends so that they can listen. It's going to be on FM 100.06. And I've been your host and presenter, Prince Samuel Kroma. And I want to say thank you so much for joining the program. Hopefully on Wednesday, I will announce it before time. I will be coming again. But there's so much to talk about. The removal of 68 persons in Parliament. That was like long gone, but no, we don't tend to forget because it will come back to haunt us. So it is our responsibility to talk about these things, okay? It is our responsibility. Why are former government officials being asked to surrender their passports at the Criminal Investigations Department? Are they under investigations? Are they being criminalized? Something needs to be done about this. This cannot be right. And neither should we sit down and allow this to be happening right in front of our faces and not asking questions. Remember, posterity will never forgive us. What goes around comes around. That's why something needs to be done. Mr. President, in pursuit of corruption against former officials, you should try to draw the parameters. How far do you want it to go? If you're going to throw the dragnet far and wide, which I am in favor of, then no one should be left out. Everybody should be carried on. Okay, everybody should be carried on. But it's so significant, and that is not cohesive. It will only break the society apart because there are so many connections. Even some of our stations, you know, our newfound stations, we know that some of the money is invested in them, are not, you know, they've got questions about them. So are we going to investigate that as well? Are we going to investigate like some of the people who were party to this, maybe posthumously, because some of them are there? Are you going to hold some of the executives now responsible for some of these channels? There are many questions, Mr. President, and we sincerely hope that you will try to do something about this, look into this holistically, and let no one be given the opportunity to label this as a witch hunt. But for now, the way it is going, you can give credence to what they are saying. You surely can. On this basis, ladies and gentlemen, I think I've hit the 1 hour mark, and I thank you so much. Join me again on Wednesday, or keep watching my space because I'll be coming up with the announcement. It's been a marvelous program for tonight, and this is